All right, let's just jump right in. You know how it is, right? Every single week, it feels like there's a new AI video tool dropping, making all these huge promises. It's like this total gold rush. But as you probably found out, most of what you find isn't gold. It's, well, pretty disappointing.
And that's really the big question we're tackling today, isn't it? With this absolute flood of new generators, which ones actually deliver the goods? Which ones can you count on to make stuff you're actually proud of without making you want to pull your hair out in the process? I'm sure you've felt this pain. For most of us, the story is the same. You find a tool, you get super excited, you start playing around, and then, bam, you hit a wall. It's way too expensive for what it does, the user interface is a total mess, or worst of all, it handles one thing perfectly, but the second you try to get creative, the whole thing just completely falls apart. Well, we're going to sort that out today. So here's the secret, right? There isn't one single best tool that does everything. The trick is to think of them like specialists, each one perfectly built for a different job. So let's meet our four main contenders and figure out what they're really good at. Okay, first up on our list, Seedance. I like to call this one the quick relist. Why? Because it's fast, it's reliable, and, this is key, it excels at pumping out realistic-looking clips that actually listen to your prompts with some seriously impressive accuracy. So when we put Seedance to the test, its personality really came through. We gave it a text prompt for a cyberpunk career, and yeah, it nailed the character and the bike animation, even if the city wasn't quite as futuristic as we'd hoped. But where it really blew us away was with image to video. We gave it a cool illustration of Darth Vader, and the result was phenomenal. The cape movement, the lightsaber glow, the smoke, it was the kind of clip that made us go, okay, yeah, I could actually use this in a real project. So what's the verdict? Who is Seedance for? You're going to reach for Seedance when you need those quick, polished 5 to 10 second clips for social media, or for building out mood boards, or just testing a creative idea really, really fast. Basically, it's an absolute workhorse for any creator who needs to move fast. All right, now let's switch gears completely. Next up is Pixverse, and this one is what I call the artist. See, Pixverse isn't even trying to be photorealistic. Nope. Its entire mission is to create stylized, artistic, and just beautiful animations. And the thing that makes Pixverse so special, it's all about control, specifically camera control. It has this really cool, unique feature where you can give it a start frame and an end frame. So for example, you could give it a close-up of an astronaut's visor and then a wide shot of that same astronaut standing on an alien world. Pixverse then generates this incredible, slow, seamless zoom out that feels totally intentional, like a real animator directed it. So yeah, Pixverse is your jam for anything that needs that expressive, non-realistic vibe. Think about things like motion comics, really cool intros for explainer videos, or any kind of short animated story where you want to hit a specific emotional note with a unique artistic style. Okay, but what if you don't want stylized art? What if you need something human? Something grounded? Well, that's where our third contender, Kling, steps into the ring. I call this one the performer because it's built for creating believable, realistic human motion.
Now, Kling has this super interesting feature, but I gotta say, it's still a bit experimental. It's called element mode. It basically lets you composite a scene by feeding it separate images, like a background, a character, a prop, maybe some special effects, and it tries to animate all those layers together into one cohesive scene. It's not perfect yet, but as a tool for just messing around and testing creative ideas, it's fascinating. So at the end of the day, you're using Kling when the performance of your character is everything. It's perfect for creating digital talking heads, animating dialogue scenes, or making those character-driven TikToks. Or even for really dynamic action intros, like that amazing shot of the swordswoman just fluidly taking out a drone in midair.
And finally, we've arrived at the heavyweight champion, Vio, from Google. If the other tools are specialists in their own right, Vio is the cinematographer. It's built from the ground up to deliver true high-end cinematic quality. But as you might expect, that level of quality, it comes with a few trade-offs. So here's the deal with Vio, and it's a pretty straightforward trade-off. The visual quality, it's absolutely off the charts. We're talking realistic lighting, complex camera moves, amazing atmospheric detail. But, and it's a big but, you're going to pay for it. both in terms of actual cost and in slower render times compared to the other guys. So what does that mean? It means Veo is for those projects where visual polish isn't just nice to have. It's the #1 priority. You're thinking short films, high-end concept ads, or really any shot where you need that blockbuster look and feel, and you've got the time and the budget to make it happen.
Okay, so you've picked out your perfect tool. Awesome! But this is where we run into a much bigger and honestly way more frustrating problem with AI right now. The tool that's perfect for you this week might not be the best one next week. I call this the AI subscription trap, and I bet you felt it. So let's say you subscribe to Vio for those amazing cinematic shots. Then, a week later, Kling pushes a huge update that's suddenly perfect for your project. Then a brand new model drops out of nowhere, but you're already locked into your Vio subscription. You're just stuck in this endless, expensive cycle, always feeling like you're missing out. It's like creator Yuri Van Hofwegen said, and he really nailed it, you have this horrible choice. Either you're switching platforms every week, or you're burning cash trying to stay subscribed to all of them. And neither of those options is a sustainable way to work, right? So, what if the answer isn't another tool? What if it's about finding a better platform? Something that can bring this whole fragmented toolbox together? Well, that new approach exists, and it's a platform called OpenArt. And here's the kicker. Every single video clip you've seen in this entire explainer, from Seedance, from Pixverse, from Kling, from Vio, all of them were generated using this one single platform. So how does it fix this whole mess? It's actually pretty simple. First, one dashboard. No more bouncing between a dozen different websites and logins. Second, you get access to all the top AI models from a single drop-down menu. You just pick the one you need for that specific task. And third, and this is a big one, when a new model drops, OpenArt just adds it to the platform. You don't have to go hunting for it. It really just boils down to this one simple but really powerful idea. A single platform to access every tool you need. The goal here is to let you stop chasing the next big thing and just get back to actually creating. So look, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The best AI tool is going to change next week and the week after that. That's pretty much a guarantee. But your workflow doesn't have to. By using a unified platform, you can stay constant, you can stay agile, and you can always have the best tech at your fingertips without all the chaos. And all of this leads to a pretty fascinating final question. Because as these amazing tools become available to literally everyone through platforms like OpenArt, the playing field gets leveled. Suddenly, the challenge isn't about who has the best tech anymore. It's about this. When everyone has the best tools, what will make your vision, your creativity, stand out from the crowd?